Alright, friends, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, with the same energy, once again, myself Shabnam from the CodeArk, aiming to deliver coding, AI, data science, and many more technologies of today and tomorrow to everyone out there. Okay, would be grateful if someone from you could acknowledge to us in the chat section. We are audible, visible, everything to you or not. That would be a go ahead for the class. Alright, we welcome you all at the CodeArk. We have received a massive response from the audiences out there. Also received a request for the changes in timing and all. We are working out for that. I'll come up to all these points either at the end of the class today, in the middle, or maybe tomorrow, whenever time permits. Okay, fine. For those who are newly joining us, okay, maybe for those who are attending today's session as the first class of full stack web development, I would just like to give you a brief go through of what we have been doing since the last 8 to 10 days. Okay, hoping you all are comfortable with English. Alright, take it. Fine. So our development web development bootcamp and the entire complete course started right from 1st of September. So far till date, मतलब आज तक, अभी तक we have conducted total 11 sessions of 1 hour each, approx, more or less. Okay, in this past 10 to 11 sessions, we have covered up a good part of HTML and some part of CSS. Okay, so if you're already coming from IT/CS background, that won't be a big deal for you to catch up with our rhythm. But if you're coming from a non-IT background, you will have to go through the videos and watch them so that you come to know exactly what is the static page designing using HTML. Okay, आपको ये सब terms पता होने चाहिए, like what is HTML, then what is HTTP, what is www, how do we check output of a web page in the browser, the different ways we can write HTML program, the different ways we can execute, what is Visual Studio Code. Alright, for those who are new to Visual Studio Code, please go to our day 3 or day 4, I don't exactly remember, of the full stack series, wherein we started using Visual Studio Code and how to run a web page or a web HTML program in Visual Studio Code, because even in Visual Studio Code there are multiple methods you can execute your page in the browser. Is it okay? Fine. Okay, again, before we could begin, I also give you a rough walkthrough of what's going to happen now. Starting from today, we are going to stick to JavaScript, which is a dynamic web page development language. I'll come to this point. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Right? So this is JavaScript, ideally or basically day 1. I hope you got my point. 8 days, 10 days, 12 days, whatever time it takes to us to understand learning the programming languages, building the logics, and so on. I hope you got my point. Fine. Now once JavaScript finishes, we will start with SQL, which is a backend programming language. When I say backend, means it helps us to create tables and databases. Alright, fine. After SQL, we'll go to Python, then we'll take up Django. Also in between or post that, we will talk about React and Angular framework. I hope you got my point. Fine, so this is how the entire course has been framed, and it will take around 5 to 5.5 months. Alright, fine. Okay, after covering up all these technologies as much into depth as we can, understood, जितना depth में उसे cover up कर सकते हैं वहाँ तक, after covering these all technologies, we'll then finally implement a real-time project in the form of e-commerce website wherein we will be trying to do the shopping of the products exactly the way you do it on Amazon or maybe Flipkart, something like that. In the end, we should be able to do this type of transactions or actions in your e-commerce website. Like you should be able to add products in the cart. You should be able to do the payments using Razor Pay or any other application. Online debit credit. I hope you got my point. And there should be some checkout process also for the person to pay the bill. Is that very clear to you? Fine. Now regarding the timing issue, we are flooded with a lot of requests that you have a college time. Some of you are at job. We consider that we'll see the best from our side, what changes we can bring from first week of October. If not first week we could work out, then maybe most probably from second week of October. Is that clear? Fine. Okay, people, attendance is necessary. 75% attendance, we make it very clear to you for you to be certified by us. Okay, 75% attendance is necessary, plus the project submission at the end is again necessary. Hoping you understand. Correct? Chaliye, आगे बढ़ते. A very quick recap of what we have learned in the last class. Hoping people who had attended online and even who had not attended online, means live. Alright, even if you have watched our recorded session, you might have go through or you might have practiced. That was, I suppose, animations using CSS, correct? One was animation in the form of transition. Other animation that we learned using CSS was with the help of keyframes. Okay. That was with the help of keyframe. Yes. Okay, this is your first class. Okay, Anuj, fine. I hope I am audible, correct? Guys, if somebody could please acknowledge in the chat section, I'm audible, right? Be little quick, I'm audible, correct? I hope I am audible, correct? Okay, I think here we go. Fine, okay, I noted. Okay. Welcome to everyone for whom this is the first class. Okay, this is where we start with JavaScript from. Alright? Okay, anyways, back. In the end of the last class, we introduced ourselves to JavaScript. Now, actually, the concept of JavaScript we begin from today. Alright, please do make a habit of attending the classes with notebooks or long books and pens in your hand. Keep noting the point, as once written cannot be easily forgotten. Alright, fine. Number one, people. In fact, I'm not going to discuss a too theoretical concept of JavaScript. We'll start practically working upon it. Slowly, steadily, you will yourself understand the use of JavaScript. Okay, so only try to understand one thing to get started with JavaScript. सबसे पहली बात तो JavaScript is a programming tool. You understood? You call it as a scripting language or you call it as a programming language. For my friends who are coming here from the background of Java, do not be under the impression the two are same. We have a huge difference between the two. When the time is right, I'll talk about the difference also. Okay, so number one, JavaScript. Yes, it's not a markup tool. HTML की तरह markup language नहीं है, designing language नहीं है, CSS की तरह styling language नहीं है. It's a proper programming language. Okay. Number two, JavaScript is used for dynamic client-side coding. Or to introduce that dynamic code at the website, on your website. Now what do you mean by dynamic for the people who are hearing for the first time? देखिए, हम HTML से जो पेज कोड करते हैं और उसका जो आउटपुट आता है, that is always a static output. You understand English meaning of the word static? Something that is fixed, something that cannot change. Is it right? If font color is equal to yellow, of course it will remain yellow unless I make changes in the code to green or pink or blue, correct? Paragraph opens, paragraph closes, and we are printing hello as a paragraph. हाँ तो टेक्स्ट हमेशा ही हेलो रहेगा, आप 1000 बार उसको रिफ्रेश करोगे तो भी, करेक्ट? बट सपोज इफ आई वांट टू डिस्प्ले ऑलवेज द करंट डेट एंड टाइम ऑन द पेज, like every time anybody who refreshes the page, anytime anyone who visits my website should find the current date, current time, current temperature. But this is always a changing data or a changeable data, correct? ये तो भाई बार बार रिफ्रेश होने वाला डेटा है, चेंज होने वाला डेटा है. हाँ to support this kind of dynamic output, HTML cannot work. You need to introduce a language that supports dynamic scripting, dynamic coding, and that's nobody but JavaScript. I hope you got my point. Fine. So using HTML, please, this is the moral of the last 2 to 3 minute ki story. HTML is good enough only to design the static pages. But if you want to give some dynamic output to your website or in your web page, you need to incorporate the role of JavaScript. Is that very clear? Alright, acha, just one point of fact to add and then we can begin practically working upon it. Guys, to your strange surprise, in fact more than 90%. Okay, some of the authors and some of the good web sources even mention 98 to 99%. I consider more than 90% of the websites as well as mobile phone apps are coded using JavaScript only. Is that clear? All of us. So that's the power of JavaScript. It's the beauty of JavaScript. Once you learn, you can create your own websites, your own apps, so many games and whatnot. Okay, these are just few things to list. What are the applications of JavaScript? ये वो चंद बातें हैं जिसको हम गिनकर बता सकते हैं. ऐसे तो JavaScript can do beyond imagination, beyond your power. Is it fine? Okay, fine. So this is how we go and start with JavaScript. First of all, my Visual Studio Code. Alright, people who are joining the class for the first time today, we are using the application Visual Studio Code to write the JavaScript, HTML, CSS coding. Is it okay? Fine. Alright. Otherwise, you want as a beginner, you can start by writing this code in Notepad also. बस वो थोड़े ही दिनों में, after you get a grip to coding people, एक बार आपका कोडिंग का ग्रिप मिल जाएगा, थोड़े ही दिनों में we will move to React.js framework to write JavaScript in a different way. I hope you got my point. Let me not talk about React and Angular today. Let us first slowly introduce ourselves to the concept of JavaScript only. Okay. So this is my Visual Studio Code. Alright. Okay. Some old project is opened here. Never mind. I open an empty folder. Okay, it was buffering. I think it is clear now. It was buffering. Is it clear now? The connection is successful. I think it's clear now. I think it's clear now. It's clear now, correct? Okay, somebody please acknowledge in the chat section. It's clear now. Alright, ठीक है, चलिए. I did nothing. When I lost the connection, we did nothing. I just opened the specified directory. It's a blank directory. ये फोल्डर हमने पहले से बना के रखा था, खाली फोल्डर है. आप चाहिए तो फोल्डर विजुअल स्टूडियो कोड के अंदर भी टर्मिनल ओपन करके बना सकते हैं. ये खासकर उन बच्चों के लिए मैंने पहले से बनाकर रखा था एम्प्टी फोल्डर, who do not know how to use Visual Studio Code. Clear? Good. Thank you. Keep acknowledging in the chat section, people. Very good. Alright. ठीक है. Inside this folder, I create one blank file. Let me call it as day 12 program1.html. Remember, any HTML program always has an extension .html. Okay. We all understand the concept of extension. Like a notepad file or a file created in notepad always has an extension .txt. Am I right? A Word, Microsoft Word file has an extension .doc. So many examples to give this way. Likewise, a program written in an HTML language will have an extension .html. तो ही आपके कंप्यूटर, आपके प्रोसेसर को समझेगा कि भाई हाँ, उसे हमें ब्राउजर में ओपन करना है. Alright, ठीक है, good, thank you. Alright, so starting my HTML program. Okay, this is how any ordinary HTML program starts. But if you want to mention I am coding the program in HTML version 5, so first line you have to include is doctype HTML. ठीक है, students, make it clear. Doctype HTML. If you want to mention कि भाई HTML version 5 वाला प्रोग्राम है, आप doctype HTML नहीं लिखोगे. The default version is not 5 then. It's an older version. Okay, it's okay. Output comes in both the way. You want to write in HTML version 5. You don't want for a time being, you skip it. Okay, this is a head part of the page. Head opens, head closes. For those who are learning even HTML for the very first time, no worries. Please watch our day 1, day 2 series के session. You will come to know how a web page is divided into two parts, head and body, and how deeply we have defined this concept that time. Okay, जिसको आज 1 मिनट में बोलकर बात खत्म कर दिया, उसके पीछे हम 1 घंटा बीता चुके हैं. Alright, ये समझना जरूरी है. So head part, and then comes body. Okay, inside the body, first of all, let me print one static message. Guys, now we all should be clear with the meaning of static. If you still do not understand what is static, look, I gave you a live demo of it. हम आपको उसका live demo बताते. Heading 1, H1 stands for heading 1. Means it will display your data in the largest heading size. So this is my web page. Heading closes. Alright. Save it. Control S से code को save करिए. You see it still shows a flag here. It is unsaved. So please save this. Okay. In the bottom right, you will find an option called as Go Live. Click. Hardly it takes any second of time and shows you the output. Correct. So this is my web page. Alright. अभी static का मतलब क्या होता है? Guys, I refresh this page. Again refresh. Again refresh. Again refresh. But as many times I'm refreshing, the output is same. Is it right? The web page is not changing. The content of the page is not changing. Because it's a static page. Alright, now recall those examples which I gave you in the beginning of the class. नहीं भाई, हर बार आप refresh करोगे, time बताना चाहिए. Like it is 4:22 in my system clock, you could see bottom right. But after a minute, it will be 4:23. उसके बाद में refresh किया तो it will be 4:24. Then 4:25. So that will be called as every time you run and every time it gives you some changeable content on the web page as an output. So that's a dynamic page. Is it okay? Good evening, Naveen. It's okay, fine. Okay. Alright, now how to include JavaScript inside an HTML? There are two ways. First, let me show you how to write JavaScript code using script tag. Okay, note it down, please. Note it down. क्या बोला आपको अभी? First method of using JavaScript. Okay, in HTML, first method to use the JavaScript. Method number 1. That is using script tag. Okay, using the script tag. Now, even the script tag, it's your choice. You want to use in the head part, you want you use in the body part. आपने जिधर यूज किया, execution के टाइम पर बराबर तभी ही बुलाएगा. You understood? I repeat this point again. We can use the script part to code JavaScript in head also. We can use the script part to code in body also. Now JavaScript is a synchronous programming language, people. It executes the code line by line. Head part में code किया, line by line read करने पर वो पहले आ गया तो पहले execute हो जाएगा. और अगर उसकी जरूरत तभी नहीं थी तो you should have included in the body part wherever it was required on the page. Is it right? तो line by line execute करते समय जब body का turn आएगा तभी आ जाएगा तो output तब देगा. Right? So have a look, please. So this is head. Head. Inside head, script starts and script closes. Okay. Script starts and the script closes. Fine. I just write one function here called as alert. Okay, alert. Alert, it's nothing but it shows a message using one pop-up box. It's a kind of notification. Okay, I'm coming to the very next topic, this point only. 4 ways how you can print some message in JavaScript. Alright, how to print a message using JavaScript. So one method to print something on the web page is using alert function. Alright, I hope people here out you are understanding. वो सबसे पहला तरीका वेब पेज पे कोई चीज प्रिंट करने का इन जावास्क्रिप्ट is using the alert function. Okay, ठीक है. Whatever you want to print, write inside the quotes. You might find this point confusing right now, but in the class today, when I show you after some time what are the different types of data types, integer, string, we will conclude this point. If the data is a string in JavaScript, you have to enclose it inside the quotes. I hope you got my point. What do you mean by string? Like if I write 1, 2, 3, 4, ये सब numbers है. So this type of numeric data is called as integer. Okay, there are different types of data, people. Please, let's talk about this right now. Data types. Okay, there are around 7 to 8 data type that is supported by JavaScript. Ears open, please try to understand. 7 to 8 data types are supported by JavaScript. But the two most popular data type is number 1 integer, number 2 string. We have float, we have object, we have boolean, we have a lot of others. Integer and string, इसको समझना जरूरी है. Integer, the name itself implies the meaning. That means number, like 1, 2, 22 or 33, okay, or 88,000, 1 lakh. Lakh means I can't write LAKH, वो string हो जाएगा. 1 followed by 5 zeros, that's 1 lakh. So that means this is a numeric data, comes under a category called as integer. Okay, but if it is not a number, look example of string. Not a number means what? It's an alphabet or some character or some special character. So like A or B or C or ABC together or ABC 1, 2, 3. Even this is a string. Hoping you are understanding. Okay, so string is basically one or more than one combination of alphanumeric characters. Okay, please, one or more than one combination of alphanumeric. It could be alphabet also only. It could contain some special symbol also like hash. How do you write your email addresses, people? Email address कैसे लिखते हैं? For example, if I have to write one email address, say thecodeark@gmail.com, or let me say like this, thecodeark7@gmail.com. हाँ, तो ये पूरा जो आपने लिखा है इसकी आइडेंटिटी क्या है, उसकी पहचान क्या है? It's a string. Of course, it's not a number. Am I right? So string, what all this string composes of? इसके अंदर क्या क्या है? It's made up of characters. There is a number also. There is a special character @ and dot also. Dot को हम technically बोलते हैं period. Okay. Next time when I use the word period, that means you are talking about dot. Is it clear? Fine. So this is altogether a string. Is that clear? Fine. So this is how we define string. A string can be one or more than one combinations of, okay, letter, character, just series of letters, just series of numbers, or maybe special characters and so on. I hope you are understanding, right? So remember, if the data is string, we always have to write it inside the quotes. Okay. Both work. Single quote भी चलता है, double quotes भी चलता है, but आपको quotes में लिखना पड़ेगा. Fine. So here we go. Alert. So I want to display this message. Hello. Welcome to JavaScript. Let me write in short. Okay. It's a good practice if you could end your statement using semicolon. Even if Visual Studio Code shows an output and doesn't produce any error, try to terminate the statement using semicolon. Is it okay? For those who do not understand semicolon as of now, छोड़ दो, जाने दो. Just try to understand this line of code is not an HTML code, ये JavaScript का code है. JavaScript uses many methods to, many functions to display and print output on the screen. Alert is one of them. Is it very clear to all of us? Alert is one of them. ठीक है. अच्छा, script को हमने कहाँ use किया? Inside the head. I save this. Come back. You see the messages here. Okay, fine. And after I click OK, it says this is my web page. Refresh again. After I say OK, this is my web page. And same thing if I do it in body, what will happen? Come on, same thing. Same thing if I could do it here. Okay. I cut it from the head part. And I'm pasting it here. That is after the heading is printed, I'm pasting it. Save this. Come back here. Let me refresh the page. I think I lost the connection for a moment. I repeat the point that I spoke. You lose it in the use it in the head part or inside the body part. All right, fine. Now different ways in JavaScript, different methods in JavaScript to print a message on the screen. One was using an alert box. People, alert comes in the form of some notification. Okay, जिसे हमको OK करने पर वो चाहता है या OK करना पड़ता है. Look, is it okay? In fact, lot of apps in your mobile phone also makes use of alert boxes behind. Well, some kind of notification suddenly pops up, and unless you respond to it, react to it, वो जाता नहीं है. Okay, कभी OK cancel दोनों का combination देता है, कभी yes no पूछता है, कभी input मांगता है. Right? Slowly, steadily, we'll see what are these different types of notification boxes also. But this is as of for now alert box. Okay, okay. Another method you can use to print a message is not alert, but instead of removing this, let me comment it. To comment a single line in JavaScript, we make use of // // Is it okay? And if you want to comment a multiple line, so /**. Remember how CSS did? And */*. Okay. So when you say /**, this marks the beginning of the comment. And when you write asterisk and // that marks the ending of the comment. Is it very clear? मतलब यहाँ से comment शुरू हुआ और यहाँ पे comment खत्म हुआ. Whether it is of 1 line or 10 lines that you want to comment, so multiple line comment. Okay, so the choice is your. You want to comment a single line, just make use of 2 front slashes. Is it okay? चलिए. Now suppose if I want to print a message but not using alert kind of notification box. ऐसा बॉक्स नहीं आना चाहिए कि मुझे ओके पे क्लिक करने से ही आगे बढ़ेगा. Okay, so other method to print is you just have to write document.write. Good, thank you Sai, thank you. Okay, document.write, and whatever you want to write, because it is a string, we need to enclose in quotes. Always remember, कभी भी error quote नहीं डालने की वजह से नहीं आना चाहिए. That's a very illiterate error a programmer makes, people. Understood? That means the programmer was mentally absent when you were coding. Okay, so error ka reason should not be that string was written without quotes. Okay, so again I write here, welcome to my page or website. Okay, so let's see how the output using document.write looks. I save this and it is here. Right, so welcome to my website is not in the form of a notification box this time. Instead, it is directly written on the page. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, fine. Now, one more way where you can print an output. One more method. Just write console.log. 1 minute, please. Before I could go to console.log, you see the second method, document.write. For people who are coming here from C, C++, Java, you might be aware of print function, print. Right? तो अगर आप ऐसे सोच रहे हो, if I use print and try to print something, hello, hi, bye, would it work? Answer is no. Okay, there is no print function in JavaScript to print the output on the screen. Instead, it will try to print the document. That is control P printer. People. Control P जो आप printer से print करने के लिए command देते हो, that command is considered here. Is it clear? So there is no function called as print to print an output. Instead, print is a command to print a document on the screen. Look what it does. I save this. And the moment you come here, it opens the print setup. Okay, let it take its time. It will open the print setup. That means it will ask you to select the printer here. So that is what is the meaning of print. So conclude this point in your minds. There is no print function like CC++ or system.out.print like a Java in JavaScript. Print का meaning यहाँ पर totally अलग है. आपको display करना है. Instead of print, you better make use of write. Number one. Number two, when you say document.write, it's a VVIP question that I'm asking you, document people. यहाँ पर document बोलकर आपने किसको point किया? Am I right? You can't write just write. Where to write? The program will ask you. Write on the document. Okay. Now the document is this HTML page in the browser who has called the code. Is it clear? Okay. Hello guys. One more time please. What was your code? क्या लिखा आपने? Document.write. You just write there only write. The cross question will be asked to you by JavaScript to you. Where to write? That's the reason we have completed the instruction as document.write. Document पे लिखो. अरे but who is document? वहाँ पे document लिखकर आप किसकी तरफ इशारा करते हो? That HTML page which is under execution on the browser. Is it clear? Okay, that HTML page which is under execution on the browser. I hope that's clear, people. If this point is clear to all of you, please acknowledge to me in the chat section. I think I am connected, right? I'm connected, correct? Okay, fine. Take it. Okay, so that's document.write or document.write. Alright, chaliye, one more method. In fact, this is the last method to print an output on the screen, and we will conclude this point. Good, thank you, thank you. Okay, called as console.log. Okay, एक और आखिरी तरीका. And I can't say the last one. We have other ways, but this is one of them. Console.log. Again, I want to print, say, hello. Something like this. Okay, fine. So I come here. I save this and I come back here. Thank you, thank you. Where is my page? Okay, here I am. No, I think. Okay, yep. This is the output, people. This is my screen. But guys, if you all are mentally present, I can't see the output anywhere of that hello, correct? Come on, I cannot see the output of that hello anywhere because console.log displays output in the console box. Okay, I repeat the point again. Console.log. This function displays output not on the body of the page, like document.write, like alert function. Instead, it displays the output inside the console box. अब ये console box कहाँ है? किधर से आएगा? Check it out. This is our web page. Either you select from the keyboard this combination of the key Control Shift J, J for Joker. Control Shift J press करिए, or else do right click, inspect. Okay, right click, inspect was the option that I selected. Okay, you will have many tabs opened here. Welcome, element, console, and many more if you could click. I go to console. Is it okay? So this is the console box and you will find hello here. Okay, ideally we show that output inside the console box which we do not want clients or audiences or end user to see. Okay, अक्सर वो ट्रबल शूटिंग वाले मैसेजेस हम यहाँ पर प्रिंट करते हैं. Some information that we want to keep hidden among programmers. Okay, as an acknowledgement message कि भाई हाँ ये this piece of code worked, so print true in the console box ताकि हमको पता चले पीछे हो रहा है कि नहीं काम. Alright, so this is where you can display output using console box. Come on, in a very quick way, 4 methods. Okay, 4 methods, or I think 3 methods that we learned so far. First of all, using alert function. Second one, using document.write to print a message on the screen. Third one, using console.log. Okay, now fourth one is using inner HTML property. Okay, inner HTML, ये काम की point है, थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिए. Now what is the meaning of inner HTML? Look, say inside the body I have, after heading, okay, after heading I have a paragraph. Okay, and ID of this paragraph is P1. Now right from day one, whenever I opened the paragraph tag and I closed it, we wrote the text in between opening closing, correct? What you want to include as a paragraph. But today my paragraph is empty. Check. What happened? Is the page not running? Okay, let me run again then. Open with live server. Let's get rid of this print, people. Let's get rid of it. ये हमको परेशान करेगा. Okay. Alright, so we can see this is the output of h1 tag. You see this is the output of a script tag. But there is no paragraph ka output printed here. Of course it will not, because this is an empty paragraph. Is it okay? I want message to be shown in this paragraph by JavaScript code. Okay, by the JavaScript code. Like this. People, like this. So I write document dot get element by ID. Okay, this is a function, people. Get element by ID. Now break the meaning of the code till here. Document किसको बोला आपने? You understood? उधर document लिखकर किसके बारे में बात किया? किसकी तरफ इशारा किया? My friend, this current HTML page where we are coding. Right? So from this document, get element by ID. You understand? Get, it's a request. Bulao, bring out, call that element whose ID is, I think, P1. Am I right? So P1. Now there could be 100 paragraphs here. Did I lose the connection? I'm connected, right? Okay, I might be having hundreds of paragraphs here, but I want to show some message in this paragraph only. Is it clear? I want to show message in this paragraph only. So, but this 100 paragraph will not have the same ID. ID is always unique among elements, correct? So, get element whose ID is P1. कैसे लिखेंगे coding में? Document dot get element by ID. People, element can be called by ID. Element can also be called by its name. Alright, जैसे कि ID is P1, say name is equals to my paragraph. Right? अगर आप चाहते तो ये paragraph को उसके नाम से भी बुला सकते थे. Then the function would have been called element by name. I hope you got my point. Is that clear? No, but I want to call this paragraph by its ID. Which ID? So let me call ID is P1. Okay. Dot inner HTML. Okay. Remember, inner HTML is a property to set the value on the control. Come on, bum. Was it? 1 minute. I think there was some problem. Anyways, I repeat the point again. Inner HTML, it's a property to set some property on the control. Who is the control or element here? That is paragraph. Alright, to set people. set मतलब उसके ऊपर उस पर डिस्प्ले करना या उसको असाइन करना. Is it okay? So that element whose ID is P1, set inner HTML to it. That means set some value to it as my data is here. Is it okay? My data is here. I just save this. I run this and you could see my data is here. So this is the heading tag. This is the paragraph whose data has been set by inner HTML, correct? Now suppose in between opening closing of this paragraph I want to display 5 plus 5. So what will I write here? 5 plus 5 or first display only 5. Because 5 is a number, we did not write it in quotes, correct? Because 5 is an integer, इसको हमने quotes में नहीं लिखा. Save this. You see 5. Is it correct? If I write 5 plus 5, that becomes a mathematical expression. You see it says 10. Am I right? And if I write 5 into 5, that means it shows 25. Raise your doubts in the chat section if you're not understanding. आपको नहीं समझ रहा है तो raise your doubt. Okay? And suppose if I write 5 divided by 5. People, 5 divided by 5. So it gives me 1. I hope you got my point. Right? So whatever you want, you can set it as inner HTML. You can set it as a text on the tag using inner HTML. Is it fine? All of us, right? Please acknowledge me in the chat section. Is the inner HTML property of HTML control understood or not? Okay, inner HTML use करके हम किसी भी HTML element का text set कर सकते हैं. This is what I want to say. Okay, any HTML element का text you can set using inner HTML. Good. But remember, you have to call that element to set the text by its ID. Okay, आपको उसके ID से बुलाना पड़ता है to set the text of that particular element. For those who are not understanding, please acknowledge. Good, people have written yes here. Thank you to you. Is it okay? Fine. So these are the 4 methods, and I wind off this point here. Right? Not 3 but 4 methods that we have learned. Okay, so one using alert, one using document.write, one using console.log, one using inner HTML. Okay, so let me put up all so far what we have done. अभी तक हमने क्या किया? Okay, you can display data using inner HTML, document.write, alert. Ignore window dot, let me just call it as alert, and console.log. Okay, fine. Different ways of embedding a script tag. You can embed a script tag in the head part. You can embed a script tag in the body part. Alright, और अगर ये फाइल डेट आपके पास JavaScript external फाइल है, remember like CSS. For those of my friends who have attended the CSS sessions, the CSS code could be outside the HTML program also, correct? Similarly, even a JavaScript code can be completely made to code outside the HTML program. आपको अगर सब कुछ एक में ही घुसपैठ नहीं करना है तो you understood, in the same file HTML code is also there, then in the script tags JavaScript code is also there. You don't want this mess to be created, ऐसा crowded mess ना create हो जाए. So you can isolate, separate both of them. तो फिर कैसा logic जाएगा आपका? हरिया. So I create one more file here. Let me say day 12 program 2, but extension will be .js. Is it okay? But the extension will be .js. That's okay. Fine. Navin, I'll come to your question. Yes, Sai. Okay, I'll repeat inner HTML again. Okay, I'll repeat that again. First, let me complete this point. So, day 12 program 2.js. Okay, and this code, let me call it here. Okay, ये पूरा कोड हमको इधर कॉपी करना पड़ेगा. I cut and I copy it here. Okay, so this is an a JavaScript code 100%. What this program is doing, 3 instructions are present here. So document.write and console.log and again document.getElement by id p1. From HTML page it will call the element whose id is p1 and it will set inner HTML to it. Okay, जिनको inner HTML नहीं समझा, I will explain you one more time. Let me complete this part first. So all the JavaScript code has been cut and brought out in a new file. Is this okay? See, call back my point again. What did I say you? एक ही प्रोग्राम के अंदर आपको HTML भी JavaScript भी सब कुछ घुसपैठ नहीं करना है. अरे तो no issue. Whatever is the JavaScript part code, you cut and isolate, separate it into and code it in a different file. Alright, but then what will happen? That code is gone from here. It won't show you any output. It will show you just output. This is my web page. Because जो code था वो तो आपने निकाल डाला, correct? So let me save this. Let me save this also. And if I could check the output, there is no JavaScript code here. In fact, only HTML code is shown, correct? Why? Because in the HTML page we did not call external JavaScript program, right? तो अभी आप क्या करोगे यहाँ पे? Just write script src means connect your HTML program with an outside JavaScript file who contains the JavaScript code to be executed. Alright, I repeat one more time. Connect your HTML program with an external JavaScript file जिसमें JavaScript का कोड मौजूद है, present है, to be executed. Got it? So script src is equal to, what is the name of your JavaScript program? Day12 program2.js. Right? So this is how we separate all the JavaScript code from HTML and keep it in a different file. And using src attribute of the script tag, we link that file. Right? So that code looks a little neat and decent as well. Save this and all the lost code is back here. Is it okay? Fine. Now coming to Navin's question, what is the difference between script tag in head and then in body? Navin, suppose ये script मैं अगर यहाँ use करूँ, okay? इस comment को let us remove this. There is no comment here. Okay, I use a script. Even if you do not close the script tag, it is okay when you are including the src attribute. I save this and I run this. Okay, welcome to my website and this is my web page. But there is nothing set to the paragraph tag ना. Am I right? आप देखो head में लिखने से this code did not get executed. Am I right? This question is not from Navin. This question should be from everyone. All of you try to understand this problem here. See, only if I write this script tag inside the body, come on, you all will be able to understand. Hurry up. Script को अगर मैंने इस वक्त body में लिखा, तो ही वो 5 divided by 5 का output 1 दिखाई देता है. But if I cut the script tag from here and I write it inside head, that output is gone. Why? Why does it happen? This is how you have to decide. Should I code script in head or should I code script in body? Okay, now what happens is, look, the script tag includes this file and this file is calling element whose name is p1. Am I right? But element whose name is p1 is getting created after the script is called, not before. Correct or not? Is it okay? Fine. The element whose id is p1, was it already created when the script was called? It was not created. So unfortunately it was not found that time. Is it right? So make sure if you want to display something on HTML tags or HTML control, then after those controls have been created, you are calling the script. Is it okay, everyone? Fine. After HTML, tell me when the paragraph was created. Go one by one. एक एक करके पीछे जाइए. HTML paragraph कब create हुआ? Body में create हुआ. और उस पर text दिखाने वाला instruction आपने कभी दिया? Head part में दे दिया. Correct? अरे पैराग्राफ क्रिएट ही बाद में हो रहा है, then how can you display the text on the paragraph earlier? Correct or not? Good. That's the reason when you call this script inside the body after paragraph is created, वो भी after people, इधर भी नहीं काम करेगा वो. Am I right? See, even if I write here cut and I paste it, you understood? It is still not showing me output. Naveen, अभी तो बॉडी में यूज किया ना, then why it is not showing an output? Same problem. This script is setting some text to P1. अरे but P1 क्रिएट ही नहीं हुआ है जब आपने कॉल किया, राइट और नॉट? करेक्ट. P1 क्रिएट होने के बाद अगर आप स्क्रिप्ट को बुलाओगे, only then P1 will be found. The element whose ID is P1 will be found. My friend, please everyone, thank you Priyanshu, thank you Chira for acknowledging. Others also acknowledge please. Is it clear or not? When to call the script, you have to decide. Understood. Good. What about others? What about Sai? What about Wasim? What about Zoya? And what about my other friends Zoya, Pranali, Imran, Sunny, Raji, Nityananda, Digital Arts, Radha Krishna, boys and girls, friends? Are you understanding the difference when to call? So if you're calling it before the elements are getting created, of course, either it will show you an error or it will never show you the output the way it is happening in our case. पैराग्राफ बना ही नहीं है भाई, आप उस पर टेक्स्ट क्या सेट कर रहे हो? इज दैट क्लियर? अरे जब कंट्रोल बना ही नहीं है, उसको मिला ही नहीं P1 कौन है, why are you calling in the head part? You should have instead called it after the element has been created. Got it? I hope you got my point. Yes, my friend. Attendance link I'll send after sharp 4 minutes. That is at 5 p.m. Is it okay? Okay. I'm going to share the attendance link. Kaliswaran. V. Kaliswaran. I'm going to share the attendance link. Wait for 3-4 minutes more. Is it okay? Fine. Okay. Coming back to what Sai is asking. What is the meaning of inner HTML? Okay. Inner HTML, it is used to set text, assign or set the text to HTML control. When I say HTML control, that means we are talking about HTML tag. Is it okay? We are talking about HTML tag. For example, okay, let's take a label tag here. Okay, let's take a label tag here. So I create one form opens, form closes. As of now, I'm not writing method of the form, action of the form. Okay, form has one label. Okay, ID of this label is suppose name. ID आप कुछ भी दे सकते हो. I'm writing name. Okay, then there is another label. ID of this label is email. Is it okay? Fine. Now suppose if I write name and email like this, ABC is my name, abc@gmail.com is my email ID. आप देखिए आउटपुट कैसे आता है. Label open, label closes, and ABC name and abc@gmail.com is an email address. Correct? No, but I don't know what is name and what is the email right at the time of coding. ये डेटा तो भाई क्लाइंट से आएगा. हम लोग साइन अप नहीं करते हैं. हाउ डू वी साइन अप? से आई डोंट हैव एन अकाउंट इन फेसबुक. So what will I do? I will sign up. But when I do sign up, it will ask me for my name. It will ask me my date of birth, whether my age is more than 16 or 18 or not. I'm eligible to create an account or not. Is it okay? Maybe it will ask me for my contact number or some country, etc. तो ये सब डेटा फेसबुक से भाई हमको पहले से थोड़ी पता था आप कौन हो, कहाँ से हो. How can we hard code in the program and store, right or not? This data will come on a real time basis, means it's a dynamic data. Yes or no? So whatever user input, set it in the label. Now clear? Real time basis पे जो भी user input करेगा, whatever user inputs on a real time basis, set it to HTML control and tip top display to the user. Correct? Fine. So let's go to JavaScript. Okay, let's write all this. Document dot get element, not animation, element by ID, one whose ID is name, and inner HTML. Okay, set the name as, for example, Shabnam. I'm setting this name. Okay, and document dot get element by ID. That second label, but you can't write label here. ऐसा नहीं लिख सकते हो आप. आपको label का ID लिखना पड़ेगा. ऐसे तो 200 label है वहाँ पे. You understand? It is possible there are 200, 2000 label. Which label you are talking to display the data on? Correct? The one whose ID is email, inner HTML, and whatever email that you want to send. Say shabnam@gmail.com. Okay, save this. Run this. I think there is something not saved. Anybody? I'm not getting the output. What could be the reason? Everything is right, but I'm not getting the output. Output वो अभी भी abc और gmail.com ही बता रहा है. What is the reason? Yeah, what is the reason, guys? What is the reason I'm not getting my output? Chirag, Sai, Sundar Chaudhary, Wasim, Anjum. I'm not getting an output. What could be the reason? Check my code once. Okay, these two labels are not setting name and ID as mentioned by the JavaScript. What could be the reason? No, even if I remove this, it won't show. Even if I do that, because I'm calling script. Check it out. Okay, we are calling the script. You are right, my friend. I think Chirag is written there. We are calling script before these elements are getting created. Correct? Before the elements are getting created. So after these elements have been created, call the script tag. Save this. Run this. Is it okay? I think Shabnam and Shabnam@gmail.com, everything got displayed this time. Hoping you are understanding. Is it okay? Fine. I intended to do this part also with you today. Create a function, call it using button, syntax of using function call, as well as declaring a variable and printing the value stored in it. No problem, but that would be too much. So let's continue from this subtopics tomorrow. I hope you got my point. Is it okay, friends? Hardcore practice is required from your end. Is it okay? To any eligible candidate, companies pays a very handsome package if you are indeed that successful, or let me say eligible person. Is it okay? Fine. ठीक है, चलिए. Let me share the attendance link with you. So here we go. Attendance. This is attendance, and this is our WhatsApp group chat group. Yes, Navin, yes. Fridays and today's I will send it. The programs that we coded, I'll send it in a priority today, right after the class. Is it okay? Right? Won't spend a minute extra, but in fact right after the class. I hope people are enjoying the series. Please stay with us connected. We have huge more about JavaScript coming up. In fact, better than any other courses or any other materials. Is it fine? Okay, a quick recap of what we have learned today. We introduced ourselves to JavaScript as a dynamic scripting language, client-side language, programming language. Okay, different ways you can embed script tag in an HTML, either in head or in body. You can code a JavaScript program outside HTML and include it in script using SRC. 4 methods, quick, come on. 4 methods to display data using JavaScript. One using alert, one using document.write, another using console.log, and last one using .inner HTML. Is it right? We have seen how to do a single line comment and a multiple line comment as well. Is it okay? Fine. See you back tomorrow sharp at 4 p.m. And after this 3-4 sessions are gone, then I'll start giving you assignment for self-practice. Okay? Goodbye. Take care. Yes, Navin. Yes.